Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm your host, Charlie Flannery, and my special guest today is Mr. Frankie Imbergamo. Frankie.
Hey, Charlie, thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you.
Frankie is a well-known chef, celebrity host, and author.
Exactly.
All right, and you've had a love for cooking for many, many years.
Yeah, I grew up in Boston, the North End, actually the Little Italy of Boston, and growing up in an Italian neighborhood, you know, with Italian grandmother and mother and family. And a lot of my friends had restaurants, and you know, their family owned social clubs. We used to cook on a Saturday, things like that. So I really didn't go to culinary school because it was like, you know, I grew up in a culinary type of family, you know.
Yeah, I
like,
understand.
you know, neighborhood.
Just watching the people cook
Exactly,
and you
yeah.
pick things up. So tell me this fascinating thing, because the people don't know, but you won a national contest and appeared on Emerald Live.
That's
right?
exactly right.
How did that all take place? How did that?
Well, what happened, my wife and I were on the internet, and there was a pop-up, and it said that Emerald was having this Italian contest. And you had to submit like a bio and the reason why you wanted, you know, all that, all about the cooking and things like that. So I wrote a bio, and my wife says, why don't you send in your meatball recipe and your sauce? And so we did that. And after about 2 weeks, I was in work. I was working for the Postal Service at the time as a supervisor. I got a call from the Food Network, and they said that I was in the top 100. And they had 1,500 contestants. So I was in the top 100, and then 2 weeks after that, I got another call. I was in the top 25. And then we waited another week or two, something roughly around a week or two after that, and he picked four winners in the whole country, and I was the top winner out of 1,500 people.
Wow. Wow.
So and then that came about. I had met them, we made arrangements, and I met them in the North End in Boston, where I grew up. And I met them at the Italian butcher shop where I was buying the ingredients to make the meatballs. And after we did that, we did some walking and talking through the North End. And then they came back to my house, and I made a recipe live.
Oh, nice.
Frankie's meatballs and sauce and gravy.
Yeah.
Gravy and meatballs. Some people call it gravy, some people call it sauce. But that's a big, a lot of controversy in that.
It's too much controversy. I've never understood that whole.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother's people were from Italy.
Yeah, right.
We called it sauce.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of people call it sauce.
Always called it sauce.
Depending on where you grew up, like what
Yeah.
neighborhood, like of Boston, like I would say, like a lot of the North Shore people would call it gravy. Maybe like the South Shore will call it sauce.
In Memphis. In Memphis, it's gravy.
You're right. Medford and North End, maybe East Boston, things like places like that. You know.
Yeah.
But
So.
it's all good though.
And then now you've put together a package of recipes of some of your specialities, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Some of your favorite dishes.
Yep. I wrote a cookbook, and it's called The Good Life.
The Good Life.
Favorite Italian recipes, and I wrote it back in 2003.
Wow.
So it's been out for 10 years. And
did you bring a copy of it today with you?
Yes, I did. Actually, I have a copy for you. I have a signed copy. It's called The Good Life, Favorite Italian Recipes, and that's for you.
Thank you, Frank.
It's all signed, and enjoy it. And
Buon appetito. It says, to my pal Charlie, enjoy the recipes. Ciao, Frankie. It's seen on Emerald Live. Top winner, Emerald's Italian contest. The Good Life. I'm going to check out some of these recipes.
Great.
You know,
Enjoy it.
cooking is my hobby.
I know, you were telling me. It's
I
fantastic.
do it to relax. You know, when I'm cooking a sauce or when I get a few things on the stove, you know, I forget about World War III, terrorism, everything. You know what I mean?
There's nothing better than
what are the Koreans doing? All I'm thinking about is like, you know, there's something. You know, it's funny. Do you taste your food when you cook?
Yes.
I just go by the smell a lot of times.
Well, a lot of times I taste it like, you know, when it's almost like done, not at the beginning, because when after it's cooking for a couple of hours, I cook my sauce for about 3 hours. So
yeah, I consider anything less than 4 hours a rush job.
Well, if you cook it too long, what happens? It starts to change colors. It gets dark. So I like to have it nice and red.
Okay.
You know? So
well, at what point does because I've heard that if you cook it long enough,
Yeah.
that the acidity in the tomatoes naturally cooks off.
Yeah, there's different ways people do that. Some people even add like a teaspoon of sugar.
Yeah.
I don't do that,
I don't do that,
but
no,
some people
no,
do.
yeah.
And that's supposed to, kill the acid
Yeah.
in the tomatoes. But
cooking slowly,
but
like
cooking
3 hours or so, is.
there's nothing better than having a fried meatball before it goes into sauce. You have that. We used to have that as kids growing up. When my grandmother made the sauce and meatballs,
That's Italian falafel.
and we used to have it before they go after church. We'd come home, my brother and my 2 sisters, and we'd have a couple of meatballs before they went into the sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just part of the Italian culture growing up in the neighborhood. And it was nice,
Yeah.
And people enjoy it. People enjoy Italian food.
Now, did you grow up right in the North End?
Yeah, right on Hanover Street. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Right at the lower end, down by almost down towards the Coast Guard base.
Way down there.
Yeah, way down that end. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Boston from 1967 until 1984.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. And when I say Boston, I mean Boston.
Yeah, right.
I don't mean,
Yeah. Well, Boston it's nice because it's all different, different types of different cultures and ethnic groups and all that. Which is that's what makes Boston,
So I know we met in Boston.
We did.
On the set of a movie.
Yep.
And we've since worked on a couple together.
Yeah, we worked on several. Yeah.
And now you have a web series going, right?
Yes, right, exactly. It's called Pizza Makers.
My God, have you been stereotyped as a cooker, a chef?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
It's
Typecasting. Get us. Hey, we need an Italian-looking guy to play a chef.
Well, actually, that's what happened. Chris Palermo.
Yeah.
He based this on his family's pizza place when he was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
And the characters are similar. He picked up me and Bob DeChico. We met him at a SAG meeting. He says, "Gee, I've been having this thing inside of me. I want to try this thing and this Pizza Makers thing." And we did. And we've been very successful. We did episode 6 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So, and we have 5 of them on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
But it's called pizza. It's not spelled like a pizza. It's Pizzer Makers. So if you go to YouTube and youtube.com and /Pizza Makers, all one word, you can watch the whole 5 episodes, and they're funny. It's comedy. It's a lot of fun.
I saw one. I saw the one where you had Danny Martignetti on.
Oh yeah.
With the special sausage.
I was making the
funny.
pizza, and he had the pepperoni.
The pepperoni. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. We had a lot of fun doing that.
I had him on this show.
I know. I actually saw it.
He was on for my 50th episode.
Yeah, he was making the cannolis or something. Or
he was making the cookies.
Yeah, the cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I was in fact I was going to have it set up where he was going to make a surprise delivery today.
Well, that would have been
cannoli.
Cool. That would have been nice.
Yeah, but he's doing a couple of radio shows.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah,
he's doing one down in Fairhaven, 107.1.
Yeah.
And then he's doing another one up in.
There's one in Medford too.
Medford, yeah.
Thursday nights, the WMFO. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Tufts station.
Is that Tufts?
Yeah, it's Tufts University.
He asked me to go on that.
Yeah, I've been on several times.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a nice, relaxing show.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. People like to have, hear people having a good conversation.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, what are you trying to do with Pizza Makers? Are you trying to put together a number of episodes and then maybe shop it to someone?
Well, we've been getting a lot of exposure lately. We were in Imagine magazine twice. We were on WBZ radio. Spike TV is interested in possibly Comedy Central. These are things that are just in the works with Chris Palermo, the director. He did a great job writing it. They're good scripts, and what's good about it, it's a lot of fun. It's a very relaxing.
Bobby DeChico
plays my partner in the restaurant.
He's a nice guy.
It's called Frankie and Lou's Pizza Palace. And he plays Lou, and I play Frank. And I use my regular name. And we have a lot of fun doing it. And, we just had a nice episode 6 we did at a local restaurant in Medford. And we go to different places. We don't have a regular, we shoot in different, well now we did this one restaurant, we shot there twice. And then we did a couple other places. So we had some fun,
Usually you burn your bridges after one shoot, right? That's it. Never knocking my doors again. Well, you guys spent 8 hours in here. You didn't even buy a drink.
What we do is we make an agreement with them. We have after the shoot, we all sit together and we have some pizza and we buy some drinks. And
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
give them some business.
Sure,
you know?
sure. You
so
got
it's
to.
good, yeah.
You got to.
So it works out good.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. And then
Yeah.
and I'm in an indie film called DJ Stand Them In. That'll be wrapping up next week. We've been doing it for over a year now.
Wow.
So it's going to be a good movie.
DJ Stand Them In.
Director Matt Fisher, and the lead actor is Chase Carson.
Okay.
And the producer is Michael Calvin. Nice people. They do good work. We got one more shoot next Sunday, and then we'll be wrapped, and then it'll be up to theaters. Hopefully, it'll probably be in the Dedham Theater, and then Somerville, and then from there they'll just get other locations.
Yeah, nice.
So
nice.
it's good. So I'm one of the lead actors. I play a photographer.
Yeah.
But it's you know, the only thing is, if you see that movie, you're going to see me with a black eye. That's all I can tell you about the movie. Because I get into a fight with the DJ. but I don't want to give too much away, you know.
No. You'd look good with a black eye. You know, you'd look good with a fat lip, Frank. You know.
That's funny.
But
it's really fun doing that.
So the people ask you, do you do like private parties? Do people ever say, hey,
Yes,
Frankie,
actually.
I'm having a little group together, 10, 12 people. We need somebody to come by. And
Yes, I do. I actually work. I do for some of the people in the media.
yeah,
They call me and I make like the guy just did some for some people on Channel 7. You know, like they want like 2 trays of like eggplant parm, a tray of meatballs, and some pasta, things like that. Anything that's in my book. Some of these people have my cookbook, and they'll call me and say, "Gee, in your book, like I want to 2 or 3 trays of this," and then what I'll do is I go get all the shopping for those recipes and go to their homes, and I use their kitchen, and then they pay me for that stuff. You know, we set a price.
what's the secret
Yeah.
to being a good cook?
The secret is 99% of it is you have to use good ingredients. You have to use good olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. You have to buy good quality meat. You have to buy anything. You have to buy fresh parsley when you know anything in those shakers there. Those spices. You don't know how long they've been in there. And there's
Yeah.
no flavor.
Right.
So you have to use everything fresh. And I always tell everybody, you know, in my book, most of everything is fresh, like my ingredients. Even like my breadcrumb, like I buy the breadcrumb at the bakery, the Italian bakery in Medford, and I go there and I buy a big bag that morning, and then I'll take it home and I'll make my meatballs. I don't buy the stuff in the can because I don't know how long it's there.
Yeah.
And I don't buy seasoned. I make my own season. I put my Romano cheese, grated cheese, my fresh parsley, fresh garlic, eggs, salt and pepper, and I mixed it all together with the hamburger, and I make my meatballs, you know.
So that
And
it
I buy
sounds
good
like
cheese.
99% of it, like you say,
Yeah.
is the right ingredients. The other 1%,
Well-
from hearing you talk, I would say is love.
Exactly.
Loving to cook.
That's right.
Yeah?
You have to have a lot of love. That's exactly right. And you have to be relaxed. You put on a little like musical, have a little glass of red wine maybe while you're
Some for
cooking.
the sauce,
some
some for the
Italian
chef.
music, or you know, some Sinatra, whatever you like.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, it's a very good stress reliever cooking.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
me.
People say like, oh, what's the best thing for stress? Oh, cooking is good because you know you're in. You know, it's like it's an art. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I find it the exact same way, but I can imagine, you know, if I was some poor housewife and I had to do 3 meals a day,
that's different. That's
7
like-
days a week, you know,
then
it
it's
would
not
become,
fun.
then it would not be fun
Right.
real quick.
You have to be.
know?
It has to be fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if you even like these chefs get burnt out a lot because they work on too many hours, and it's a job, you know, to support themselves and their families.
Yeah.
So it's not fun anymore after you're working 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. You know.
I'll tell you,
So
I've raised 6 kids, been blessed with 6 kids,
Oh, God
4
bless.
girls, 2 boys,
it's fantastic.
and every one of them can cook.
That's fantastic.
Every one of them can cook. And I think my youngest son is the best of all. Everybody, his name is Cash.
That's great.
And everybody says Uncle Cash is the best. And they all watched me cook.
Well, see, the younger people, they're very creative with the new organic stuff and
Yeah.
things like that. You know, there's different types of dishes today. Like years ago, I was brought up with mostly 99% was Italian food and American food. But now, when people, there's all different types of fish dishes and See, there's people who are vegans and vegetarians. It's hard to cook for a lot of people today because certain people don't eat
Oh
this.
my
Then
God.
you have gluten-free now.
I was just gonna say, it's
So,
like,
you know,
what the heck? When we were kids, right? I never heard. Did you ever hear of any kid
never heard of
having a
gluten-free.
peanut allergy?
No,
The
never.
kid was allergic to peanuts
I
and he
know, we used
died.
to eat them in school.
I mean, you know,
M&M peanuts.
you
we
get
ate
hit
them
by
all
a
the time.
car, you died. You know, a couple of kids I knew, but
Even when we
nobody
were
died
kids, we
from
had
peanuts.
sundaes, right? Ice creams with nuts on them. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
No one ever got sick or anything.
No, today it's like
Yeah, everybody's got something.
there are whole
yeah.
school systems. You can't bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to,
Exactly,
you know.
yeah.
And I know several people that have gone gluten free.
Yeah, gluten-free is a big thing now.
Out of nowhere, you know, and
Yeah.
they're all claiming, you know, I look 20 years younger, and
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
my opinion, I think you can eat regular food. It's just you have to use moderate portions and things like that, you know. And you know, naturally, you have to watch. I mean, cholesterol is another thing. That's a big thing. Years ago, we never heard of it.
Right.
You know, so you got to watch that. You know, the sodium intake and things like that. So,
I do like my salt.
but a lot of Italians don't have a lot. They have a lot of fish dishes, a lot of fish and vegetable dishes. You know, with pasta, like pasta dishes with seafood, pasta dishes with vegetables. You know, which is pretty healthy.
I have a salad with almost every meal.
Yes.
Big
We always do.
ensalada, we
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, ensalada,
Big ensalada,
exactly,
you
yeah.
know. And I eat it. I always eat it with my meal.
You
I don't
eat it at
eat
the
it.
end?
No, I eat it alongside.
Okay.
Like if I'm eating spaghetti and meatballs, say,
Right,
or
right,
something,
right.
you know, I got my salad
You
dish
have it
right
as you
there.
go
I'm
along,
having
yeah.
a bite of
That's
salad.
good.
You know.
Some people, like in Italy, you know, in the restaurants, they serve the salad at the end of the meal. Around here, they serve it before the meal.
Right.
So you get used to that, but it doesn't really matter. Only it's good for you to have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I won't do anything but.
You know what's getting popular? It's broccoli rabe. You know that.
Yeah,
broccoli
that
rabe.
is very nice. I saute that in a little
So you
olive
can-
oil and garlic.
You can get that. You can find that out
Yeah.
on grilled
Yeah.
pizzas, and
Yeah.
you can find that with pasta dishes.
Yeah.
With you know, there's sometimes with sausage or chicken, you know, things like that.
Yeah, one
Even
of my
shrimp and
daughters just
stuff.
turned me on to that about
Yeah, it's
2 years
fantastic.
ago.
It's a bit of green,
Yeah.
but it's very, very healthy. We
It
make it with
grows
the
on
olive
you,
oil
that-
and garlic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you saute some olive oil and garlic,
Yep.
and you put the rabi in there after you steam it for a few minutes, and it gets the bitterness out.
There's almost nothing
It's
that olive oil and garlic
and it's very
won't
healthy.
fix. Huh?
That's why Italian food is very simple. You don't need a lot of ingredients.
No.
You know, some
Good.
people they put so many different ingredients. They think it's going to get better, and it gets worse because
it
it
simple.
doesn't. It overpowers the dish.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So it's better that it's being simple with olive oil, onions and garlic, olive oil, vegetables, and you just keep it basic, and it tastes a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this pizza makers,
Yes.
pizza,
Makers. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they put R's where they don't belong.
Just like
things
sounds
like that.
sounds like a Boston type of thing.
Yeah, right. It is. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But do you actually make pizza?
I did in episode 5.
You made an actual
Yes,
pizza.
I actually made a pizza. Yeah.
Did you twist the dough up in
No,
the air and
I
everything?
had the dough already banged out because of the time, because of the cameras and all that. But I had banged out the dough, and I put it on a tray, a round tray.
Episode 7.
Episode 5.
Episode 7, you got to twirl the dough.
Yeah. Well, if it
know what I mean?
requires, I can do that. Yeah. But this.
I'm calling Chris Palermo as soon as the show is over. I'm saying,
But it was
Chris,
good. I made the pizza. I had the sauce, the cheese, the grated cheese, the fresh oregano,
Yeah.
and I put some red roasted peppers on one side,
Uh-huh.
and all cheese. Half of it was cheese and half was red roasted peppers.
Uh-huh.
And I presented it on episode 5. You'll see it.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody was eating it, and it was good. We had a good time.
I think it's episode 6. Is that the one that Danny's on?
No, 5. That's 5.
Oh, that's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's the one.
That's the one I made the pizza with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And Al
Well,
Chillo was
yeah,
in.
and Al
Yeah.
came on, and
Yeah.
and that's the one with Danny had the sauce, the
The
special
pepperoni.
special
Yeah,
pepperoni.
so the pepperoni
we can't say what
He
that's.
delivered it from Italy.
Oh my
It was
God!
good. We had a good time though. It was
Hey,
good.
he was on here, and like I say, it was my 50th episode.
Oh, wow.
All right. So in the middle of it, from behind us, Zach, our technical director,
Yeah.
comes out with this cake with like my picture on it.
wow.
And happy congratulations on your 50th
fantastic.
episode. Yeah, it was very
That's
nice,
great.
right? But I knew nothing about it.
That was a nice touch.
All right? Danny knew nothing about it. And Danny had adopted this Italian character.
Yeah,
he just
right.
spoke it like with a thick Italian accent
I saw
the whole
it.
time, right? And when Zach came in with the cake, for a second, Danny thought, gee, the show's over.
Yeah, right.
And he almost broke character and started, speaking perfect English like he does, And then, and I managed to like recoup quickly. Oh, Danny, it was so nice of you to think of me and bring this cake.
That was nice.
It was
What a good idea.
It flowed right in there. It was
a great idea.
A nice touch. I'll tell you, these people here are great to work with.
Yeah, it's some nice shows. I've watched some of your episodes, your shows, and they're very, very nice.
I try to have fun.
You're doing a great job on it. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I see people on Facebook complimenting on it, and even myself, actually. Because the people you've had on, I am familiar with some of the people, so they're friends of mine, and I worked with them in some of the movies, and things like that.
Yeah, I try to mix it up, even though the show is called Let's Talk Real Estate. I mean,
Right.
Real estate, I think, is not just about physical properties. It's
Right.
about the quality of life.
Exactly.
Where we live. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
So I try to bring on guests that can add something.
Well, that's nice. It's a little variety, break it up a little.
And sometimes it's more informational where, I'll have an attorney on and we'll be talking about the foreclosure process. And then I'll have, a person like you and we do a regular interview.
That's great.
Other times I've had actors come on and I've developed characters and dialogue, and they come on and play a character for a show, and that's fun too.
Great. No, that's good. Yeah.
And the people here have been very supportive of me.
Yeah,
and,
that's great. You're doing a good job on it. And it's nice to see someone that doing these type of shows because you don't see too many of them around.
Do you do you do any of your stuff? Is Pizza Makers in any way connected with a local access, or is that just something
No,
you totally do
I
on your
happened
own?
to be on. I was on the Medford access cable TV about in December, and it's a talk show. It was a Stevie B show, and he does things like the same thing what you do, and then people in Medford all see it because I live there. And then when I go to a restaurant or a store, and say, "Hey, I saw you on TV," and people liked it, and I made a pizza. I took a pizza with me from I made it at home, and I brought it to the studio for the host, Steven. And he ate the pizza on TV. I made a nice pepperoni pizza for him.
And I get a book. Huh?
Next
I
time,
get no meatballs.
Next time I come, I make a dish for you.
I saw a picture of lasagna.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me ask you about your lasagna.
Okay.
Okay. Because I haven't made it in a while. But do you make your sauce separately? Do you make a special sauce just for the lasagna and then layer it in?
No, what I make is I make a big sauce with all the meat, and I use that sauce for the lasagna.
Okay.
I don't make a special. I know what you mean. Like a lot of times when I do eggplant parm, I'll make a marinara sauce, not a meat sauce.
Right.
So if I'm making like eggplant parm, I'll saute some onion and garlic and olive oil, add my tomatoes and cook that for about an hour. And then after that, I'll use that marinara for after I bread my eggplant and fry it up and drain and dry it out good, and I'll put it all together.
Yeah, yeah.
But lasagna, I use the meat sauce. The meat sauce that I make right there with like I put like some sausages in it and some hamburger, meatballs. So sometimes I'll put like a beef brajala, roll it up.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll put pork chops, a piece of pork.
I knew this woman. She grew up in my neighborhood, right? And it was all Italian people in my neighborhood, you know. And she had this gigantic pot, all right? And she would start like on like Saturday, and she'd start with the red sauce, right? And there'd be like a chicken in there.
Yeah.
There'd be pork chops. There'd be
in there.
meatballs. There'd be sausages, and she'd let the thing cook for like a day or so. Then take out all the meats. They were all like done perfectly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Put them aside. Then she had sauce, and she had all the meals done for the week. And let me tell you, that sauce, because of all the stuff that was in it, all the different flavors from the meats. Oh my God!
Yeah, see, like even on a holiday, but most of the Italians on a holiday, they have the turkey like on Thanksgiving. They have the turkey at night, like about 6, 7 o'clock, because the first serving would be the Italian food.
Yeah.
Make some eggplant parm, some lasagna, meatballs, and all that pasta, and then at nighttime they'll have the turkey. So, you know, then you have all the other stuff: stuffed mushrooms, stuffed artichokes, stuffing, you know, things like that. And then there's a lot of food.
I do a nice lasagna.
Yeah.
I make a marinara sauce and then add spinach.
Okay. Yep. That
to
sounds
it,
good.
you know,
Yeah.
until the spinach just gets tender.
Yeah.
Then I layer that with the cheese in the lasagna.
That's a good idea.
It comes out good.
Yeah. I mean, I've had spinach lasagna before.
You got to add garlic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And garlic.
That's a good dish.
Yeah, it is. You know, because I like meat.
Yeah.
I like meat, but every once in a while I get tired. You know, I like to have a meatless meal or something
Yeah,
without
that's right.
meat.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good. It's good for a change. Like, you know, like some people are even doing like a vegetable lasagna now. You know, they'll do like zucchinis instead of using the pasta. They'll use like the zucchinis or stuff like that.
for layers.
For layers, you know, and you can use different eggplant. You know, like an eggplant rollatini is like a really like a. It's actually like a
brajol?
like a lasagna.
Oh.
But instead of using the pasta, you're using like the eggplant layers. So like these people I know, they make a tray of like they'll fry the eggplant up in the batter with the breadcrumb and egg and all that.
Do you peel your eggplant?
Yes, I peel it. Yeah.
I always peel it too
Because it gets bitter.
It tastes, that
It
gets rid of the
skin.
bitterness.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I peel everything like and I cut them the round ways.
I've been having that debate with my mother for years. I peel, she don't peel.
Right. And I don't put, some people use flour. I don't use flour. I use breadcrumb and egg, you know, and ingredients, cheeses and all that. And I dry it out real good on paper towels, and then I'll put it together with the sauce and all that.
Yeah.
But now some Italians, what they do is they'll get the fried eggplant with the red sauce, they'll layer it, they'll put a layer of ricotta cheese with you know, they'll mix it all up like the same thing you're doing with the lasagna, and they'll spread that across and keep making layers. So that's how they make, actually they call eggplant rollatini. If you get eggplant, they put like ricotta cheese on there, and they roll it, and they bake it in the oven like a manicotti, it looks like.
Oh, wow.
And then you put the red sauce and the cheese and all that. So when you cut it in, you get the ricotta cheese and the eggplant. It's very tasty. It's a good appetizer.
The Greeks make a nice dish called moussaka.
Yeah, right. I know.
That's with the eggplant.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of tasty.
Yeah,
I like a lot of Mediterranean foods.
Yeah.
You know, I think I gotta say it. We Italians have the best cuisine.
Nah, you can't beat it.
But you know,
Not to be.
what can I say?
Italian food is probably the most popular food. You know.
Yeah, because we do it right.
People like pasta. They like meatballs. They like pizza. They like all that stuff. You know, and it's
and
most of it's
garlic
healthy
and
too.
olive oil. Frankie, I can't believe we've talked our way
Thank
through.
you very much.
But I want to thank you so much for coming on.
It was a pleasure
Let's Talk
being here.
Real
Thank you
Estate
very
today.
much.
And if you have any questions regarding cooking, you can send an email to me at letstalkrealestate@verizon.net, and just put cooking in the subject line. Also, I've done this many times. If you've got an idea for a show and you'd like to come on, send an email to letstalkrealestate@verizon.net. In the subject line, put "be a guest" and give me a little breakdown of what you'd like to talk about. And we may have you here one day on Let's Talk Real Estate. Until then, stay safe. Thank you, Frankie.
It's a pleasure being on. Thank you very much for having me.